But yeah, looks like we got a good crowd here if you want to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome everyone to Governance as Code Day with Cloud Custodian. We have jam-packed agenda for you. Let me just see. Quick introduction. My name is Amer Khan. I'm based out of Jersey. I work at Stacklet. I'll be one of your moderators today. With me, I have George. George, want to do a quick intro?
Hi, I'm George Castro. I'm a community manager for Cloud Custodian, and this is my first conference/event. So I'm really happy to be here.
No, thanks, George. And we also have Liz as well, who will be joining the stage later on in the day. If you have any questions and me and George are busy on the stage, feel free to ping Liz. As you can see, I'm sure Liz will say hi again. And you can ping her, you can message her directly because we might be on the main stage. And if there's an issue that we can't get to, Liz will definitely be able to help you out with anything out there. And later on, she'll join the stage as well. Thanks, Liz. With that, let's start going. First of all, thank you everyone for joining us today. This is the first Cloud Custodian Day or Governance as Code Day we are doing, and we were blown away by the numbers. We had over 2,000 registrations. I have stopped looking at them. People from all over the world, 50 plus countries, as you can see already. So many folks are from so many different places. Again, feel free to introduce yourself, what you do in the chat window. Keep the conversation going. I know virtual events can be hard to network, but if you introduce yourself, don't be shy. Engage with other people. Ask us questions. Share your thoughts as well. If I go next, so just a quick recap. How many of you know about Cloud Custodian? There's a poll there that you can answer as well. I know it's a nice mix. Cloud Custodian is a CNCF sandbox project, and George is going to explain that in a bit more detail later on. But for those of you who don't know, it's a great tool that helps you to use YAML as a language to define your policies for your cost, for your security, for your compliance, especially all these things that are so hot these days. It's a really lightweight rules engine that you can use across multiple clouds. It supports all the major cloud providers, and it's an open source project with a real thriving community. We have over 300 contributors across the globe, across various organizations that are using it. And I won't give away the download numbers yet, right? But we have a really good download number, usage rate, and the project is literally on fire. You'll learn more about the project and some updates, and we'll have a lot of users who are presenting and doing talks as well around Cloud Custodian. So feel free to hang out and learn more. George?
Yeah, like other CNCF events as part of KubeCon and Cloud Native Con, the code of conduct is in effect. So please be kind, be respectful to each other, and treat others how they would like to be treated. I don't think we're going to have any questions on this, but if you see something, please feel free to ping myself, Umair, or Liz, and then we'll handle it. But so far, it looks like everyone's having a good time. So let's keep the positivity going.
Great.
And so here's how it works. If you've seen the top right, as you've probably figured it out by now, if you click around these different tabs. For this one, you want to be on the stage tab and then the chat, which is like what's highlighted there. And then occasionally throughout the day, Umair is going to throw some polls and things like that just to get a vibe for how you're using Cloud Custodian or ways to make the event better, that kind of thing. And there's a Q&A tab as well. So as we go into the actual talks themselves, we'd like for you to use the Q&A tab because that helps us kind of organize who's asking the questions so that we could relay those to the speakers. And then that way you could just keep the chat for chat, and then it makes it easier for us to separate out the Q&A for the speakers so we can do that for them. Other than that, the Twitter tab, did we ever get the Twitter tab to work? I don't think so. So we'll just skip that. Or
no, but you can live tweet, right? So you can get. So if you're using these hashtags, if you're especially part of the custodian community, help us, make some noise. Share your thoughts on Twitter. Use these hashtags with KubeCon. Naturally, there are 20 other events happening at the same time. So thank you so much for picking this one. So if you can use these hashtags, keep tweeting, take pictures of things you see or quotes you see by the speakers. So we really encourage you throughout the day The hashtags would be, at the bottom of various presentations as well. So keep tweeting those out. And on LinkedIn. And on anything else you use.
And on everything.
So in terms of agenda, I'm sure everyone has the agenda there, and we can post the links to that agenda there too. We'll be, right now, George and I are just doing some opening remarks and covering some house items. In about a few minutes, Brian will be joining us shortly. He's a Chief Security Officer at HBO Max, so I'll be introducing him in a bit. And then we'll have a bunch of other sessions covering from State of the Union for Cloud Custodians. There are various talks from organizations like Zapier, Code 42. We have the author of DevOps Dummy, Emily Freeman, joining us as well right after the break. So I'm super excited for the fireside chat with her as well. And there are a bunch of other presenters from organizations like Fidelity, organizations like GFT, organizations like Stacklet, JPMC. So definitely there's Premise Data, Zapier. So, we're super excited to share all this content for you. So hang out with us on this live stream. And if you've just joined the feed, again, feel free to introduce yourself, say hi, don't be shy. Thank you for so many of you who have already introduced. I know not everyone is comfortable doing that. With that, we will, George, anything else you want to add? Otherwise, I'll just give a minute before we start the next session.
Yeah, feel free to tell us where you are in chat. I'd love to add up all the countries at the end of the event.
Yeah.
It's all our speakers.